How is it going, everybody? My name is, of course, Revan. You guys can call me Rev, and welcome back to a new video on the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the dev brief number 219 for Hell to Let Loose. Let's go ahead and get right on into this. So this is going to be the first, I think, patch notes for update 21 for Hell to Let Loose. As far as my knowledge goes, this will come out sometime before December. I would just about bet money on sometime between late September to early November. I feel like they're going to try to beat that GTA 6 release date, but who knows? I could be wrong. But let's go ahead and get on into this. Now, I do want to just say this right now. I have had part of this list spoiled for me. I did look at this on Twitter earlier today, and I did see two major changes that I'm very happy for in Hell Let Loose. I've been begging the fucking developers for years at this point. But let's go and get right on into this. So Conquest mode is coming into the game, which if Conquest goes anything like it does in Battlefield, I will be absolutely like this. I can't wait for it. Many of you have already had the opportunity to test Conquest in our V1 and V2 tests early in 2026. I was not among those tests, just due to some personal reasons I couldn't play. But yeah, we are now excited to reveal that Conquest will be officially joining Hell Let Loose as part of Update 21, as well as being one of the 4 game modes that will be in Hell Let Loose Vietnam. Conquest has gone through a lot of changes and iterations through its development and has been guided by much of the feedback we received after the previous 2 playlists. If you're interested in learning more about how the new game mode works, be sure to head over to watch the dev diary we released in conjunction with the first test where Matt and Xander break down the fundamentals of the mode. And as a part of this test, we will be playing Conquest on 2 maps, Juno Beach D-Day, Carentan Day. I am very excited for how this is going to play out. For some reason, I don't know if it was meant to happen or if it was an accidental kind of like tease or release. At least on the console server browser, I don't know if it's the same way on the PC server browser. I haven't played PC, spoiler alert, in a few months. But on the console server browser, you can select Conquest as a game mode. I don't think they meant to put that in the game quite yet. That's been in there for at least 3 to 4 months at this point. So very interesting that they added that to console. I wonder if that was preemptive or what. But I don't think that this update is going to be coming out in August. I feel like, well, maybe what they do is for people who don't want to buy Vietnam, they have the update ready for World War II. Maybe they have the update released in September. Who knows? All I know is I'm very excited for this, and I will very likely be streaming this on Update 21 launch day. Weapon changes. New weapons, the 1903A3 and the 1903A4 Springfield rifle. I have been wanting a Springfield and even just a bolty, another bolty US gun for so incredibly long. I love Springfields. I want any version of an 03 Springfield. They're so they're a bitch to shoot if you don't know how to prepare for that fucking 30-06 recoil. But if you can brace yourself right, these things are so much fucking fun to shoot. We are excited to bring 2 brand new service weapons to. We are excited to bring 2 brand new weapons to the game, the 1903A3 and the 1903A4 Springfield rifle. Now, I was going to say, now I do believe there is a Springfield version in-game. Actually, let's go ahead and pull up IMFDB super quick. Because there is already a Springfield rifle in Hell Let Loose, but I don't know what variant it is. Did they delete the... Did they delete the page for Hell Let Loose? What the hell? No, they didn't. Okay. Okay, what version is... Okay, it's the 03A4 is what they have in the game for the snipers. Huh? The 03A3 joins the bolt action rifle as the US services. So if the 03A4 is already in the game, this is one thing that actually is now not making that much sense to me. If the 03A4 is already in the game as the standard US sniper, why? I'm so confused on that part. Anyway, more new weapons will be coming in future experimental branches, so be tuned. I'm very excited to see what they'll add. Do I hope they'll add the Ross rifle for the Canadians? Yes. Do I think they will? Absolutely not. As far as my knowledge goes, the Ross rifle didn't see very much service in World War II, if any service, so I don't think they'll ever add the Ross rifle. As much as I don't like saying that, they probably won't. And this... Team 17, thank you for doing the first good thing you've done in I don't know fucking how long. Weapon Fire Selector. Next up, we have a feature that has been long requested by the community, the Weapon Fire Selector. All weapons that historically featured fire select modes have now had that functionality implemented. You can now freely toggle fire modes on the following weapons. As a part of this test, the playable maps will feature the US, Canadian, and German forces, so only weapons used by those factions will be available in matches. All other weapons can still be tested in the practice range. Which, by the way, I'm really hoping we get the British. I think we're missing two factions in the firing range. I don't believe we have the British Eighth Army that is part of the North Africa maps, and I don't think we have the Canadians implemented quite yet. So I'm really hoping we get both of those forces in the firing range as part of this update. Which there's no way they won't. Like, technically speaking, I believe the German Eighth Army guns are pretty similar to the Allies, like for drill and one more map. But I think they technically have different characteristics. Anyway, the MG34. This is a very interesting one. I didn't expect the MG34 to be part of the weapon fire selector. Actually, okay, so where's my 1911? That's such a weird thing to say out context. Give me just 1 second, you guys, and I will grab something so I can. Where the fuck did my 1911 go? Oh, that's right. So, okay, and I'm promised this is for a reason. So, for a standard trigger, this is what a standard trigger looks like. Has a single thing you pull, and that pulls the trigger. See? It is now cocked. Boop! It fires. So, what the MG34 has, at least as long as it is how I remember seeing a... What do you want, Max? As long as the MG34 trigger is how I remember seeing it, it has a two-stage... Well, not two-stage trigger. It has a two-tier trigger. I don't remember which tier does which, but it's actually... I'm going to go ahead and pull up an image of this thing. Yes, it has a... That's what it is. Okay, yes. Okay, so top one is... Okay, so this is the trigger on an MG34, obviously. It has a two-tier trigger. The I means ein, which is German for one. The fucking... I have no idea what the either... I don't know if this is a D or if this is an O, but either way, this is full auto. It's going to be very interesting to see how they implement that, especially like on all of these guns, which some of these are looking really nice right about now. On all of these guns, as far as my knowledge goes, they have a physical fire selector like switch, like what you would see on like an M16 or an AR-15 or something along those lines. The MG34 doesn't have a switch for selecting either semi-automatic fire or fully automatic fire. I wonder if they'll have a button like they had in Hell Let Loose Vietnam's beta to switch the modes, or if like a light trigger pull is going to just do like a one tap, like if you just pull the trigger super lightly, or if they'll, because I at least know the DualSense Edge has trigger dead zone functionalities. I don't know if that would work on standard PlayStation 5 or Xbox controllers, but it's a possibility. Or if it'll just have a button and you go like noop, noop. I don't know. That'll be very interesting to see how they handle that. It's also very interesting that they would give the MG34 a semi-automatic function. I mean, I can maybe see where they're coming from. Maybe it's just to add the functionality to a gun that actually had it in real life. I don't really see semi-auto on the MG34 being that useful, personally speaking. I just think the iron sights are a little too chunky for more precise fire at range. But that's just my opinion. There might be some absolute menace with a machine gun out there who's like, oh, yes. But that's not personally me. I'm personally not a massive fan of the MG34. I use the 42 whenever I can get the chance. The FG42, Hell Let Loose devs, Team 17, fucking thank you. So if you've seen any of my Hell Let Loose weapon tier ranks, you guys will know that I have despised the FG42 since the day I unlocked it. And that's for a multitude of reasons. One, I think the fire rate's too fucking high for that thing. Two, I don't believe you get enough ammo for how high the fire rate is and to do even a little bit of damage to allied forces. And three, the real gun had semi-automatic fire. It has some of the cleanest. I dare I say the FG42 might be a better... okay, so the FG42 as is right now, I think it has somewhere close to a 9-ish, maybe 1,000 fire rate on it, which is way, way, way. Like it has such a high fire rate. The each bullet's sound can't even properly like cycle before the next one starts. I don't like the FG42 in this game like at all. But with the addition of the weapon fire selector, the FG42 might, and if they give this, which I don't know if they'll give this thing more ammo or if they'll keep the same. I think it's 5 in reserve in one of the guns, so you technically get 6, which is still not nearly enough. I'm pretty sure you get more ammo with the STG than you do with the FG42. I wonder if the FG42, given the fact that it fires the same round the Kar 98 does, I wonder if the FG42 will give the automatic rifleman a chance to have more of like a designated marksman role to an extent. Because the FG, like I'll even show you all the FG42's iron sights. Like this thing has some absolutely stunning iron sights. Can I get a picture of this thing zoomed in? Like look at these iron. Okay, that's not a very good picture. Can I not find a damn picture of this thing with iron sights? And I can't just splice a PC clipping because I don't have this thing unlocked on the PC yet. I mean, you can kind of see the sights right here, but it is an extremely clean iron sight. You can tap fire it as is right now. It's just not that easy to do, and quite honestly, it just fires too fast to be able to tap fire it very effectively. This will give the automatic rifleman so much more flexibility with the FG42 than what they had before. I cannot wait to use this thing. This thing's going to turn into an absolute menace at range with single fire on. The STG-44. Now, this is one thing this is another one I'm very happy for. The STG by itself, one of the most well-rounded guns in the game. It's one of the most common weapons to run into on the battlefield. I don't know anyone who doesn't like the STG. This thing with semi-automatic fire. Now, granted, this thing is not a one-shot kill. This thing is a 2-shot kill to a 3-shot kill. If you can pace your shots with this thing like you can the M1 carbine or any other semi-automatic 2-shot kill in the game, you have potential to have a really, really good close to medium to even medium and long range 30-round DMR right here. This thing could be an absolute. This could absolutely tear someone in half. Now, the bar. I was both happy and shocked to see the bar getting this thing too. If you've played Battlefield 1, then you know exactly what the bar's fast auto rate is like. Now, whether or not they keep whether or not they give the bar the insane fire rate it had in Battlefield 1, I don't think anyone knows as of yet. But if this thing does have that fast fire rate that it had back in the day with Battlefield 1, this is going to absolutely mutilate someone. The bar is already a one-shot kill as is, and if they don't fuck with the one-hit kill range of 250 meters with the bar's fast auto fire rate, if you don't get that first shot on someone close range, you're going to get absolutely eviscerated by this fucking thing. The bar might just turn into one of the strongest guns on the US side. I genuinely feel like we're going to get some weapon nerfs imbalances after this whole update comes out, because a lot of these guns are going to absolutely smash people once they've been released. The bar, especially, the bar has some chunky iron sights towards the bottom, but the front side of it, oh my, this thing is going to turn into an absolute menace online, and I can't wait for it. The Thompson M1 makes a little less sense to me. The Thompson by itself is like a 2 or 3 shot kill. It has okay iron sights, but I don't know how well this thing is going to fare in semi-auto mode. I guess for medium range, yeah, I could see that, absolutely see that. But so that would, I think in medium range you would have to land 3 shots, which me personally, I'd rather just take my chance and let off a quick like 2 or 3 shot burst to see if I can hit them. And yeah, I don't see this one being that useful, but who knows? Somebody with the right hands and with the right aim, that could actually be really good. Same case with the 1928A1. As far as mine, actually. Does this cover the drum mag 1928 as well? If this covers the drum mag 1928, that could be a really, really, really good force multiplier on El Alamein. Because I'm like, you can give me the statistics for the drum mag with the foregrip on it and without. I would still say the 28A1 with the drum mag and the foregrip has less fucking recoil than the non-Tommy gun. Like it doesn't have the same recoil the non-foregrip one has, and I will die on that fucking hill. This thing is an absolute, like, on full auto at close to medium range, this thing is damn near unbeatable on the German side. The Germans get fucked over so hard on the Africa Corps maps. The burn gun. This is going to be very, very interesting to see. I don't see this one being that good, to be fully honest with you. I am not a fan of the Bren Gun's iron sights. I never have been. Practically any game it's ever been in, I have always hated the way the Bren sights look. This could be maybe good if you have someone trying to spot guys for you, but I don't see this one being that useful. It's good that they're getting it. Don't get me wrong. Like it's good that they're getting the Brits are getting some more. I guess you could say designated marksman help. I just don't see this one going that well, to be fully honest with you. The stun guns are the same case as the Thompsons. Especially, okay, the stun guns I see being slightly worse than the Thompsons. And the only reason I say that is because the iron sights are a lot more obstructive at the top than the Thompsons are. I don't see these being that effective. Maybe at like super, like maybe at like 70 to 100 meters. But even then, you're gonna likely want someone with either an SMLE or a Lienfield Mark III. I don't see these ones being that particularly useful. Same with the stun gun Mark V. The PPSH is a very interesting one. I want to say the PPSH has a lower damage profile than the MP40 does, because I've been two shot by the MP40, and then I've also gotten 2 hit markers on a row on someone with the PPSH. So I don't know what the hell is up with this thing. This could be really good, but this also could be completely useless. I think they're just on some of these. I feel like they're just doing. I think they're just doing it so we can get the functionality in there, and if it's better, cool. If it's not better, cool. I think they're just doing it for that. Please note, audio and animations for these fire select switches are a work in progress, and the fire modes can be toggled by pressing caps lock on keyboard. I wonder what button this is going to be on console. I would just about bet you it's going to be one of the D-pad buttons. Update 21 will also be bringing a raft of loadout changes. For this playtest, we would love to hear your feedback on loadout changes we are making to implement. Rifleman. New level 6 loadout for the US rifleman called Marksman. Thank God, I am so tired of having that fuck-ass M1 carbine. Now, for the record, I don't hate the M1 carbine. I just don't like that it's the top tier. Like, they've been begging for a level 6 loadout for a hot minute. I'm both glad and skeptical of this thing being in the game. Now, what do the 03 A3's iron sights look like? Is this what I think it is? It might be. I don't. I've seen a picture of an 03 variant's iron sights. I don't know if it was the 03 A3 or the 03 A4. Oh, it's this one. Fuck. This is not what I thought it was. Shit. I really hope they either need to do ghost rings on these fucking sites, DOF effects, or they need to widen that bitch up like the M1 Garand's iron sights. If that's not widened up like the M1 Garand or with the DOF effect, that's gonna be fucking brutal. I did not think it was the. Why did I think it was the original 1903's iron sights? This is the one I thought it was. Is this the right variant I'm thinking of? Yes, this is. I thought it was. If I can find a good fucking picture. You know what? I'll just do this. I thought it was gonna be this version of the Springfield. I didn't know it was. I didn't. In my head, I was hoping it was this one, but I like for some reason I didn't. I forgot that this is what the 03 A3 looked like. It'll be very interesting to see how they do the 03 A3's iron sights. Comes equipped with an 03 A3 Springfield and an explosive ammo box. Okay, so we're basically getting oh, what the fuck? This is what the level 6 German rifleman has as well. Basically, just they have the Gewehr instead of the 03 A3. I don't remember what that one's. I think it's Panzer Grenadier. I could be wrong. It'll be very interesting to see how the 03 A3 is balanced out. I would imagine it's gonna just behave the exact same way the scout class or the fucking the recon squad's rifle is gonna be balanced out. That's at least what my guess is. US so I will be going over this stuff. It's not. I don't play tanker at all. I'm usually infantry. US tank commander's default loadout weapon changed to the M3 grease gun from the Thompson. Okay, yeah, that makes more that makes sense. you would see a lot more like later on in the war, which I don't think we have any maps with the U.S. set before 1944 because we don't have the Pacific yet. Please, after Vietnam, let's get the Pacific. So this totally makes sense. I'm pretty sure the grease gun was adopted sometime in late 43 or early 44. This would make sense to see the grease gun instead of the Thompson. I'm also kind of a Thompson hater to an extent. I have a love-hate relationship with that thing. Default crewman. The blowtorch equipment is now available in all default crewman loadouts. Wait, was it not before? Did they not have the fucking torch before? What the, and I've played Tank Crew like once, and it was so long ago I don't even remember what the fuck I had on. That seems like it would be mandatory to have a blowtorch to repair your tank. What the fuck was it not before? Anyway, technician wrench added the ability to build nodes with the technician wrench. Is that the wrench on support? I don't know shit about it. I've played engineering support in all those roles like twice. Anti-tank. Primary weapon for the default US anti-tank role changed from the M1 Garand to the 03A3 Springfield. Interesting. Okay. Wow. This does make sense. The default AT roll for the US was quite a bit powerful. I'd argue that it was more powerful than probably any other default AT roll in the game. It for damn sure was more powerful than the Germans. The Germans, again, I don't like the Germans' weapon balance, in all honesty. This will be very, because they were kind of like a one-man army. I don't think they got as much ammo for the M1 Garand, but at the same time they had, I think, 2 frags and the bazooka, and you could also get supply off of explosives, I believe. So this is going to be a very interesting change to see how this goes. Handling changes. Alongside loadout changes, the team have also been looking at a number of handling changes to improve how they feel. Please keep an eye out for the following experimental changes whilst you play. Weapon sway. The first experimental change affects several rifles, as we have increased the weapon sway while looking around. This only affects them visually and should have no impact on accuracy when aiming. This has currently been applied to the following weapons. Ooh, M1 Garand, 03A3 Springfield, Car 98K. Another fucking reason would be to hate the 98K. Nice. The SMLE #1 Mark III, all non-sniper Mosin Nagant variants. Oh, the fucking 1891 Mosin variant is going to be absolutely horrible then. Fuck. Also, quick rant about the Mosin Nagant variants for the Soviet riflemen. I really, 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 really wish on so the 1891 Mosin for the level 1 rifleman, because you're basically a conscript at that point, makes total sense. Which someone commented on one of my older Hell Let Loose videos. That makes total sense. Can we please get the 9130 for the second tier? I kind of feel like having just a step above a conscript tier would be kind of weird to have them as a carbine M38. And besides, I really want to use the 9130, but I don't want to play the fucking roles associated with them. I know, me problem, but you know, it is what it is. This will be very interesting to see how it affects the 1891 Mosin Nagant, because it has some really, really, really iffy iron sights. If you've seen the 1891 iron sights in Hell Let Loose, then this is going to be interesting to see. The SMLE #1 Mark III, I don't see that being that big of a deal. That has some of the best sights in the game already, and the way I see it, if this is only like visual and not where you're actually not actually impacting your aiming, I don't see that being a big deal. This thing has some, the Smelly has some pretty good iron sights as is. For the car, I'm fucking like, I already don't like the car that much as is, so that's not gonna really fucking matter to me. I already use the Conveyor practically or anytime over that thing. The 03A3 Springfield. I wonder how much this is going to affect the Springfield and its iron sights. That's the only thing I'm worried about, because I don't think anyone knows how the 03A3 is going to handle as of yet. And the M1 Garand. If the Garand didn't have such open iron sights, I'd be worried about this, but at the same time, with how open the Garand's iron sights are on Hell Let Loose, I'm not really that worried. The only gun I'm really worried about this on is the 1891 Mosin and the car. Other than that, I'm not that worried about this. We have made 2 small recoil changes based we have made 2 small recoil-based changes to the brain gun and the STG-44. Oh, fuck, what have they done to my STG? For the STG-44, we have given it a small recoil increase. For the brain gun, we have made 2 specific changes. These are a greatly reduced visual screen shake. Thank God that thing shook so fucking bad. And slightly increased recoil. The brain gun is not that hard to control in the first place. I don't see that being a massive thing. The STG-44, on the other hand, this could be a bad change, but also it could not be as bad as it might. Some people might make it out to be. The STG-44 doesn't have a whole lot of recoil in the first place, so as long as you are decently, like if you can control a PPSH, you'll probably be able to control the STG. I don't see this being that bad, and especially if you're tap firing this thing at range, or if you're single shot in this thing at range, I don't see this being that bad. I can control this thing super fucking easy at this point. I don't see this being a massive issue. Previously, the burn gun had little to no recoil. Yeah, that's fair. The burn gun had no recoil at all, but a high amount of screen shake when firing. No fucking kidding, it did, making it appear to have more recoil than it actually did. This has now been adjusted with a slight recoil increase to better match the reduced visual shake. There were times on El Alamein and Tobruk I was genuinely like, I thought I was like, I thought I was having to control recoil. It was just fucking screen shake. The Brennan had such bad screen shake. I'm very glad they're adjusting this. Armor and vehicle changes. Vehicle spawn limit. To kick things off, we have introduced a new vehicle spawn limit. We have upped the limit from 5 to 8 for vehicles spawned from commander abilities. We are looking at this change for a few reasons. First, after our recent changes in Update 20, including making Jeeps and half-tracks cheaper, we wanted to make sure that commanders didn't feel punished for spawning vehicles in and accidentally limiting the amount of tanks that could be spawned. Likewise, this also gives players increased choice whilst preparing for any future vehicles that may come to the game. King Tiger possibly, maybe a Ferdinand could be pretty cool. I don't know enough about Brit tanks to say anything, but a Ferdinand and a fucking King Tiger would be fucking cool. The Lux balance. The next change comes specifically to the Lux tank. For those of you who don't know, this is the German light tank with a 20 mic on it. The next change comes specifically to the Lux tank. With the Lux being a primary anti-infantry light tank, yeah, this thing is pretty fucking weak against tanks. If you're really using this thing against a fucking Sherman or a Firefly is basically fucking shooting a bear with a BB gun. You're not going to do a whole hell of a lot of damage. It has historically had little to no impact on other enemy armor. For this experimental branch playtest, we have done a slight rework on the Lux and now can do the following. Can damage the engines of all light tanks. Can damage and destroy any light from the rear. Recon tanks are a work in progress but will behave the same. Very interesting with the recon tanks. So the way I see that, recon tanks will be an alternative to the Lux. Interesting. We can't wait to hear your thoughts on these changes after playtesting the Lux this weekend. So does that mean the Lux will be more of an issue on the battlefield for Stuarts and T-60s? I think is what the Soviet light tank designation is. That will be very interesting to see how the Lux change affects how that thing plays. Armor balance. Armor has undergone a significant balance pass to better define the role of each tank class. Heavy tanks have been rebalanced towards an anti-tank role, carrying more AP ammunition with reduced HE capacity. How much did they carry before? I know in Hell Let Loose Vietnam, they had 40 shots of each, which seems a little fucking excessive if you personally ask me. I don't think it's going to stay to 40, but who knows. While medium tanks now specialize in anti-infantry combat, carrying more HE ammunition at the expense of AP rounds, the Sherman Jumbo 75 remains the exception, retaining its role as a heavy anti-infantry tank. HE shell blast radius has also been adjusted to reinforce these values, with medium tanks receiving a larger blast radius than most heavy tanks to make them more effective against infantry. Very interesting. That'll definitely make these things a higher priority than to destroy as infantry than anything else, I feel like, on the battlefield, considering how much of a game changer medium tanks can be currently. Additional balance changes include increased turret rotation speeds for several German and British tanks to help improve responsiveness. To be fully honest with you, I haven't piloted any tank in Hell Let Loose in probably 3 or 4 years at this point, so I would be rusty no matter what. Firefly damage increased to improve its effectiveness against armor. Nice, nice, nice. Fuel costs adjusted for the Panzer IV and Sherman medium. I'm not a commander, so that doesn't really bother me that much. Improved low-speed handling for the Sherman medium. Experimental collision and physics improvements for the Panzer IV aimed at reducing instances of tanks flipping or launching unexpectedly. Aw, I'm gonna miss that shit. I'm not gonna miss it at the same time as I'm going to. That was fucking hilarious watching that happening. All SPAs, for those of you who don't know, SPA is self-propelled artillery. It's basically the Sturmtiger and I don't know what the Russian equivalent is or the American equivalent. All SPAs now include an extra gunner zoom level, providing improved long-range target acquisition. So I've never actually piloted or gunned an SPA before. I don't know how this is gonna work, but that sounds very interesting. I might have to actually get into an SPA now at this point. Additionally, we have also enacted some changes to tank survivability. Increase to heavy tanks front hull resistance 32 to 36 and side hull resistance 16 to, that's a massive fucking bonus right there. Holy shit. That just sounds like it's gonna make AT even more useless. Max, what do you want, buddy? Give me just a second, yo. And we are back. Sorry about that. My cat just needed to be fed and watered. Where were we at? Oh, we're right here. This will be very interesting to see how, especially with the heavy tanks in the game, of course, this will be very interesting how it changes up strategies to take them out. As is, you are like for any armored vehicle in the game, for that matter, be it recon tank, heavy tank, light tank, whatever it is, you still want to hit him in the ass with whatever you're hitting him with. Bazooka, Panther Shrek, HE, AP, whatever the fuck you're hitting him with, you're gonna want to hit him in the ass no matter what. But if that's not possible, the side was always like the second go-to spot. That'll be very interesting to see how, like, are you gonna want to draw their fire and try to get up behind them, or are you gonna want to smoke their front and then try to back up a certain distance and then pop them twice with a bazooka, or however many times it takes them to take them down. Increase to Panther tank upper side hull resistance. 16 to 23%. What the tank upper side? So is that like the front sloped armor where the hull mounted MG34 is? I think that's what that's got to be. If I'm thinking about that right. Increase to medium tanks front hull resistance 16 to 30%. If you're shooting a medium tank at the front with an AT, you're basically doing fucking nothing in the first place. So I don't see this being that sounds like a okay enough change. That's fair enough. Salvage balance. Finally, on armor changes, all vehicles have had their salvage fuel returns increase from 1.5x to 2x times the previous amount. Please share your feedback. Okay, that doesn't. Again, I don't play Commander, so. Prone collision updates. Please tell me this means what I think it does. This experimental branch introduces a work in progress update to how player collision works when prone. This has been designed to reduce instances of player models clipping into walls, terrain, and other environmental objects while prone. You know, as much as this is a really, really good thing. I can't tell you how many times I've offed a fucking enemy player because their leg is sticking through a wall and I can hit it with either a Car 98 shot or melee and one-shot them. It's like, I'm gonna miss doing that, but at the same time, this was bullshit that this was able to happen in the first place, so I'm really glad this is happening. As a part of the system, players may notice their character being gently pushed when rotating near obstacles to prevent clipping. This is an early implementation and we're aware of existing issues, so we'd appreciate you putting it through its paces and sharing your feedback. I'm very happy about this. I was actually in a game with Soul Sniper on the Vietnam beta. I don't know if that was on stream or not, but I know I was in a game with Soul Sniper. I'm very excited for this. I will definitely be streaming update 21 whenever it launches, and I hope to get some time in on the experimental branch. I don't know how well I'll be able to run it, but at the same time, I will try my best for you guys to run the experimental branch. But I think that just about does it for this video, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like it on Hell Let Loose, on any other game, and like any type of video in the first place, make sure you hit that like button, maybe drop a comment saying what you want me to make a video on next. And yeah, if you're seeing this right now, I am very likely streaming either Grand Theft Auto 4 or either Grand Theft Auto 4, Cry of Fear, or Minecraft right now. So if you see me live, maybe come drop a view and maybe chat for a little bit. But yeah, until next time, guys, I will see you later. May the force be with you. Revan out. Later, y'all.